friends, it's Olga. Welcome to BA Blog. Today I want to give you some guidelines in building effective processes that will work for your project, increase productivity of your team, and help you to free up some time so you can focus on things like career development. You might ask why it is essential. I would say that running the project without or broken processes, it's like pushing the car on the road instead of driving it. I saw lots of projects with no workflows, no rules, no documentation, no clearly defined roles and responsibilities. In such teams, no one knows where to find what information, what the priorities are. Everything is always late. The team is demotivated, the client is dissatisfied, and the management is irritated. In my previous video, I explained the fundamental difference between the team leader and the task manager. I stated the leader should be focused on building the processes and motivating the team rather than distributing the tasks and checking the deliverables. Of course, it requires your time and effort at the beginning. Still, it pays off throughout the whole project, allowing your team to provide sufficient quality without rework, meet the deadlines without overtimes and burn down, keep your customers satisfied, and build excellent ground for the long-term trust in relationships. Finally, it takes lots of load off your shoulders as a manager. Now you can delegate, quickly onboard the new team members, and calmly go on vacation knowing that no one will bother you with the phone calls and emails, and it will still work anyway. Now I want to go into details and explain how it works in real world. So the ultimate goal of any successful manager is to build a stable system with clear, easy to follow, scalable processes, where every team members know what, when, and how to do it, where to find what information, whom to ask what questions. And this is true no matter whether you work in software development, sell the cars, or run a restaurant. The algorithm is all the same. It includes three base stages, which are analysis, modeling and configuration, and adoption. Now let's consider them one by one. The first stage is analysis, and here I'm talking about getting the general understanding of the project context. By project context, I mean several things. The first is project scope, timelines, and milestones. What are the project goals? What features should be implemented to achieve these goals? What are the project timelines and key milestones? Also, keep in mind that in some projects, several teams are working at the same scope. In such situation, it is also critically important to understand which components and features are on your team side. Second is project ecosystem and boundaries. You have to get a clear vision of what systems, platforms, portals, and integrations should be supported to deliver the product. You have to understand which of them are in the zone of your team's responsibility. Also, you need to understand the customer organizational structure. What stakeholders are responsible for what functionality? What is their attitude towards the project and the team? Finally, what is their decision-making authority? Third is internal and external influences. And here I'm talking about the domain particularities, regulatory requirements, company policies, time to market, and etc. The methodologies and approaches you would use to develop a video game will differ from those you use to develop a medical equipment software, just because the risks, potential losses, industry standards, and time to market are different. The common situation I spot on multiple projects is that the team has no clue about the project context. They are focused on particular area and routine tasks that are in their direct zone of responsibility, ignoring everything else. This is a rather dangerous situation which leads to isolation, lack of control, and lack of ownership. You simply can't plan the releases, build the processes, or even effectively do your daily tasks hidden in vacuum. Now that you have a clear general understanding of the project context, you can move to the next stage and start to model the processes. Now, the common mistake many young managers make on this stage is they start to invent a wheel. One of the most valuable things I learned as a consultant on engagements related to operational change management is that we should not invent the new processes and tools. What we should do is to creatively reuse and adapt the workflows, approaches, and tools that worked for other similar projects. This is true because it is less risky, it is more effective, and if it works for other similar projects, it will most likely work for yours. I'm not talking about blindly copying everything. I'm talking about creatively reusing and adapting the experience and knowledge of other teams. Now, to be able to reuse, you should have a vision of available options, compare them to select the most optimal and adjust it properly. And this is one of the manager's responsibility, to stay in touch with the professional community, to be aware of the latest trends, to collect and systematize the knowledge and experience. Once you are clear with the methodologies you are going to follow, the workflows you are going to build, the tools you are going to use, you start to integrate them. And here is when you actively collaborate with the customer and the team. It is not enough just to model and configure the process. It should be adopted by every team member and every stakeholder involved with the project. It is not easy to do, especially when you deal with the big cross-location team. It will require your time, effort, and loyalty from your team and your customer. Let me give you some tips that might facilitate the integration and further adoption stages. The adoption will go smoothly if the team and the customer were involved in the previous stage. This is just human nature. People are more likely to follow the processes they invented or at least were consulted. Second, the processes should be documented and accessible by all interested parties. Try to create it in a simple illustrative form. Remember, one illustration worth 10,000 words. Third, conduct the Q&A and training sessions. Be prepared, it will take some time before the workflows, roles, and responsibilities will be fully adopted. Finally, be prepared, the process will be changed, modified, and adjusted multiple times throughout the whole project. And this is totally fine. It evolves to support the ongoing project needs. As you can see, setup and optimization of processes is a full-time job for the manager. It requires significant time and effort. However, it pays off throughout the project. I hope I convinced you it's worth spending time on. Leave your comment and let me know if it was useful. Share your thoughts and experience. Let me know if you face the same issues setting up or optimizing the processes, or is it something else I haven't mentioned. Thank you for your time and attention. Good luck and see you soon!